lots of NSFAS grants and monies available for students to study. So you have a nice steady stream of students coming in, and they are predominantly targeted at school leaver. So the one that's got their matric and their nice results to enter university, that's a lot of where that money is targeted at. Difficult.
Yeah.
Or something doesn't make sense. Or I need to conquer something.
Influence. Yeah, control.
You can take that into a assignment context. You can take it into a life context. So what's in my control?
What's in your control?
In the situation. Go and figure that out because the answers are with you. Nobody else can tell you what they are. What do I have the ability not to control the outcome, but I can influence it?
Yes, a qualification. Let's say you're looking for marketing intern.
Yes.
And
Okay.
Yes.
You're there, but you haven't graduated.
Yeah, you haven't
okay.
graduated. You want to do an
So,
intern.
well, I think to be fair, the answer will be the same for whether you've graduated or not. We're looking for
being goal-orientated, whereby you want to achieve dreams.
Is for you to bring them back to perspective on their value and their worth.
They are waiting.
Okay.
Students.
Bafundi, welcome to the #1 student podcast in SA. You know. This is the one and only MR Mongo. And I'm not working alone just like every week, guys. I'm working with the one and only African Chris Brown on my close left. How are you, my dog?
I'm good, man.
Good.
Yeah.
So today, guys, we have an exciting episode. I think it's also one that I was really looking forward to because we're going to talk about something that not only students are dealing with, but also people that are also working, even if you're also trying to find your way around life. But I think if you're doing something in life, you are dealing with this thing you're talking about. Today, our focus is going to be on fatigue, burnout, from an expert in reinvention. We are joined by Adeliah Jacobs, the co-founder of the Center for Reinvention, the head of HR department in Cornerstone. And let me put this correctly, guys, a reinvention practitioner. I think I got it right. How are you? Are you good?
I'm good.
I wanted to get it right. I didn't want to mess it up. But we are really, really glad to have you here today, joining us. I feel like I've never watched any podcast speaking about burnouts in this depth, about students specifically, because I think there might be podcasts that spoke about burnouts, but not for directly to students. So first and foremost, I just want to say, how are you?
I'm doing really well. I'm excited to be here because I think it was you who came to the kitchen. I was telling
Yes.
a colleague the other day that Melusi came to the kitchen, and while I was making my coffee, he said something about my LinkedIn profile. And I suddenly felt very exposed. I'm like, but that's why it's there. You put it there yourself. So it was just the time of the morning.
True.
Yeah.
Because I felt like, and I personally have this thing with myself that I like to connect with people. So I saw something that fascinated me and I was like, I really want to get to know this. And then that's why I asked. But about today, I really want to know more about fatigue, burnout, understanding all those things. But first and foremost, I just want the viewers to know, who is Adeliah Jacobs?
Wow. I think I'm going to give you a little bit about who I am based on your content.
Okay.
So I am a certified reinvention practitioner. I'll get into that. I know you want to know what that is.
Definitely.
In short, it allows me to facilitate
Okay.
either with an individual or a group of people, whether it's in a student setting or a workplace setting. It allows me to work with people who are needing to shift. Something needs to give so that I can move further.
Okay.
And that is sometimes a positive experience for the person or for the group or for the team. And at other times, it's, we know we need to be going somewhere. We know what we must do, but we don't really know how to do that because our methods and what we've been following, our frameworks, our tools are now outdated. Oftentimes, we don't say they're outdated because we haven't recognized they're outdated. So I hope that gives a little bit of a
Yeah, it gives an idea.
yeah.
So
So
it's
what I
basically
do, yeah.
It's actually fascinating that I see a lot of students facing fatigue, burnout, especially during maybe if we're approaching exam season. That's why we see a lot of students not even eating during those times because they are so stressed to the point that they can't even remember that they have to eat. They can't. Some of them they are so stressed that they can't even start. I don't know if the problem with starting a project, is it related to procrastination, or is it because you're feeling fatigued and you don't know how to start? I don't know. I don't know if I'm putting it in the right way.
No, no, I hear you. And I think the reasons why people don't start something, there's a multitude of it. But I'm going to risk saying or sharing this little story about the amygdala, which is it's a piece of the brain. It's a part or a concept, not a concept, but it's part of your brain. It is responsible for controlling your fight or flight response.
True.
And your fight or flight response is triggered by stress. The amygdala, I think I wrote a little article about this, it's a bit like a taxi. We all know taxis, right? We know how they drive. You know what happens when you are on the road and you notice a taxi driving like taxis do half the time. The kind of driving where you go and you're a ball of nerves. It's just this, what are you going to do now? Like, what's your next move? The amygdala is the same. So that feeling that you get, that stress, that cortisol that rushes through your body, that feeling of uncertainty, a little bit of fear, anxiety, is like, I know what to do, but right now I don't because I'm not in control here. Something else is in control. It's my amygdala. And so what I'm trying to bring across is a little bit of fight or flight or freeze, which is a completely human concept. We all have it. Doesn't matter where you're from. Doesn't matter where you were born. Doesn't matter when you were born. We all have that, and that makes us. And it's the one thing I believe that makes us all. It connects us all. We're always talking about diversity. I believe that diversity really is how we're similar, not how we're different. And how we're similar is how we respond to stress. And that's why it's such a big thing in our lives and in our workplaces and stuff like that. So back to the amygdala, if you are feeling that you're sitting with an assessment or an assignment and you're going, I'll do it later, or just give me a minute, I haven't wrapped my head around that, it's probably a wonderful example of that stress hormone that was now triggered. Your brain is now released a lot of cortisol, it's flooding your body, it's making you think irrationally. You're thinking, but you're not thinking rationally because you are not given a framework or a card or a roadmap for how to think rationally in a situation that's stressing you out.
So could it be the same thing when you actually want to do something, but then you think of something else and you want to do that something else first than actually studying your work or getting the project done?
Yeah, you probably, I don't know, you might be touching on procrastination.
Yeah, I think that's
So
procrastination.
and that's okay because I think I used to say I procrastinate a lot, but actually I discovered that I like to think about a thing. I'm not going to think it through to perfection, but I want the comfort of being able to think about something before I dive into it and just do it. We spoke about that a little bit earlier on. Some people like execution and they rush into execution. Others prefer, let me just digest the stuff.
Okay.
Let it make sense for me, and then my execution, I'm going to be relaxed in that phase. So back to your question, if you're choosing to do something else other than that you don't feel like doing, the question is, or what you should do is get curious about that. Not why am I choosing it. The why is obvious because this thing here is a little too complex, or it's a little too dull and boring, or it's not aligned to your current set of strengths.
Right.
So if you're operating from your area of development / people call it weakness, no such thing there. We all have various skills and we're all differently abled across the skills platform. So if your skill is not to operate the camera and somebody gives you this job now, and you're like, I did it a little bit, but I don't feel comfortable. So I'd rather be sitting over here and doing the interview. It's the same thing. It's really just based on where you're operating from. My set of strengths and
My state of weakness.
yes, and the other thing is what energizes me. That's a cue. If you keep going, I'd rather do that and not this, figure out what the differences are, because
between these two,
it's a cue. It's telling you you're probably more energized by that
For that,
activity
yeah.
than this one.
So would you recommend someone to start with to start doing what they are more energized to do, and then follow with what feels like I'm not that comfortable doing this, but I should?
Yeah, I would. It's something that I try and do. I don't always get it right, but I know when I'm most productive.
Yeah.
I know when my energy levels are nice and high and I can take on just anything, and I know when my energy levels kind of flatline, like there's not much there. So I would do you can decide what to do with your energy. So if you're going to use your low energy time for low output tasks, then it's nice match. That's for me. Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I wanna touch on something faced by a lot of university students. I'm concerned about why a lot of university students stress or experience a lot of burnouts. They stress to the point like you would swear they are doing a 9 to 5 job, but we are not even getting paid for this type of stress. So we really and it's all academical stress.
Yeah.
So I just want to know, as a person, I'm sure you also were enrolled in university or college. So I just want to know, what would you say to someone who's in university right now?
Okay. Well, I think I want to, if you don't mind, I want to go a step back and say that students' profiles are different. Let's look at a public university, like a UCT or a CPUT. Lots of NSFAS grants and monies available for students to study. So you have a nice steady stream of students coming in, and they are predominantly targeted at school leaver. So the one that's got their matric and their nice results to enter university, that's a lot of where that money is targeted at.
True.
For obvious reasons. Then you look at Cornerstone Institute, and we'll maybe chat about that just now. That's a private institution, a private higher education. There's plenty more. But the student profile, and I can only speak for Cornerstone Institute because I know it. I don't know the others. I'll be lying if I speak about statistics and student demographics for other universities. So I'll play safe and I'll say the average age of student there is a 30 to 35-year-old. So it's somebody who's been working for 10, 15, 20 years even, and deciding that now I want to do something different. But to your question, I think stress is a normal part of life. I think for a school leaver, when you enter a university, everything is new. Nothing is the same. It's unfamiliar territory. Nothing looks the same, nothing sounds the same, nothing feels the same.
Yeah.
You go in there expecting education because you got education a certain way, and you get in like, yo, you know what? I thought it was going to be super cool being here, but why aren't you teaching me this way? Because I'm used to this.
Now it's different.
Now it's different. And now I know there's orientation and all of those things, but that's good as an introduction, but you still need to go through the lived reality of how that's different. And once you become used to what's now different, and it becomes part and parcel of your new reality, your stress level goes down. For the older student, if you imagine somebody that's probably has a life partner, maybe they're already past the I need to be married, or I'm married and I've got a car and I have a house and I have a kid. That age group is very different. So you imagine the stresses are still there, just a different kind of stress.
True.
Or at least different sources of where the stress comes from.
But how can someone deal with academic stress?
How can you deal with academic stress? Now, I wish I had a good academic stress counselor here for you. But I'm going to maybe ask you, what do you define as academic stress?
I feel like it's the deadlines that you have to approach.
Yes.
And you know that, especially let's say around the season where, around June,
Yeah.
I think it's June, when we're writing the exam, the media exams. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, normally around those days you get a lot of work that you have to finish on.
Yes.
And then also you don't want to be academically excluded. In other universities and other tertiary institutions, they do that. You get academically excluded if you don't reach a certain percentage by the mid-year.
Yeah.
So I think academic stress for me, it's that those deadlines that you can't meet, you're procrastinating to start. Now you have to do it. The date is actually approaching, and I have to either submit it or I either have to study for this exam.
Yeah.
So those are the things. But sometimes people face fatigue. Sometimes people face burnouts because they have been going through a lot of things
Yeah.
aside from academics, and then now they have to put their mind into actually doing this, studying for this exam, and then they face fatigue or burnout.
Yeah, and I think we touched just a little bit on it before this interview, before the podcast started. We were speaking about the need to have a plan. It's yes, you have to be in the classroom, whether it's online or face to face. That's half of the plan.
True.
The other plan is getting to grips with what assignments do I have to deliver? How well do I understand my deliverables? If I'm going to meet these deliverables, what are the smaller action items that I need to put in place to achieve a submission deadline? I don't know how much of consulting you do with your lecturer or with your own academic support counselor, but I think planning, and I'm now speaking specifically about project planning, because planning means something for you and it means something for me.
Okay.
And yeah, right? If I ask you how you plan, you'll tell me, and it'll be what's most comfortable for you, but you need a framework. And I like to use the little analogy of an elephant. I don't know, it's never made sense to me, but it stuck with me. It's like, how do you eat an elephant, Melusi? How do you eat an elephant? Well, you eat it in tiny chunks, right? I mean, you can't stuff the thing in your mouth. So if you're going to eat an elephant, it's in tiny chunks. So if you're going to have to, if you consider that there's a deadline over there, what are the small activities that I need to input
To start.
to get to the output? And that will give you a good sense. Once you know what the what is, the how is your next question that you need.
What first.
So I know I must deliver this thing, whatever it is, by that date. That's great. I probably know a little bit of the what as well because I have been speaking to people, to colleagues, to lecturers, to students, whatever the case is. But how you get there and how I get there are two very different things. And I think if you are speaking, speak more about the how than the what. I always like to say, even in a
Speak more about
workplace,
the how,
yes,
not the what.
speak more about the how than the what. Because the what is easy. We've got AI, we've got a lot of things at our disposal to come up with the what. But the how is very deeply entrenched in what makes sense for you, what are your abilities, what is your skill level like. Because Melusi can have a plan and you have a plan for the same assignment. And if you're not working together, his plan of action might not suit you.
All right.
Yeah. His design, because this is the starting point, that's the end point, the in-between thing. It must have a design. It must have a shape and a form. It's not unlike media.
That's the planning phase, the
That's
how.
it's the how that you
But
want to do.
I feel like we
It's
all
quite interesting how you say it, like you know the what and the how, and you should firstly know the what and the how.
but focus on the how.
Yeah, but how do you know the how?
How do you know that?
How do you know the how? You know the what, all right? And then you know what to do, and you don't know how to get there.
Right.
Yeah.
So you for me, I want to see that or hear that as curiosity, because curiosity is going to save your life a number of times in this lifetime. I can guarantee you that. So if you're asking about or how we do the how, I would say, what is it? You get down to the practical stuff. So if it's an assignment, I'm just using that as an example, then go and ask your lecturer. If you're not sure on what it says in the brief, ask. I know what I need to deliver. It's X, Y, and Z. And what format do you want it in? Give me a clear picture of what it is that you expect so that I know how to meet that expectation.
Right.
And I think having a visual, I mentioned having a visual for something is very useful. Because we can all read the brief, how you interpret it, and how you link it to your own unique set of skills.
I think that's the part that a lot of students are getting wrong. They
Yeah.
don't see clarity. If you see clarity,
Yes.
your picture, the picture of what you are asked to do gets more clear,
Yes.
and you know exactly what to do. So now you know how to do it.
Yeah, I think most of the time, students think they know, but they know how to do it, but they only know what to do. They don't know how to do it.
They know what to do.
They know what to do,
They
but
need
they
to
don't
open
know
Blackboard.
Exactly. You mentioned the other big C, it's clarity. But I feel that curiosity and clarity go together. I feel that you can either gain clarity because somebody gave it to you, and if you don't feel clear on something, then that's what triggers the other C, the curiosity. Just ask questions.
Still curious.
Ask lots of questions. Yeah.
That's
Okay.
interesting. It's very
And I actually wanted to ask something. We kept on throwing the word around
Yeah.
fatigue and burnout.
Yes.
Can you please clarify for me?
I'll do my
I'm
best.
curious now.
You sharp one is.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this in Afrikaans and tell me if I must translate, but I say it a lot. It's actually a silly thing, but I say, Melusi het voor in die klas gesit. He sat in front. He's this bright one. I gave him curious and he just threw it back at me now.
But you'll
So-
find out he was sitting at the back in class.
You see now.
Nothing wrong. Yeah, by the way, and I'll get to your question now, you might have to ask me again, but there's a really awesome author. His name is Benjamin Zander, and he writes about transformation. It's a bright yellow book. It's about that size. But I remember sitting in an auditorium of like 1,500, almost 2,000 sales reps back in the day. And it was this auditorium style seating, and I was seated right at the back because we sold beer. I was a beer sales rep, right? So yes, I was a beer sales rep. And what that meant is going to conference, and you can imagine how proud you are of your own beer. You're going to have your beer. So the next day when they called us for early conference day, we were all feeling we were hanging, right? So everybody who came in chose a seat at the back, obviously, right? The top at the back, furthest from the stage. We were of the first. We were going to be at the back, but we were not going to be, we were going to be early, but not in the front. Right? So we sat at the back. This guy gave us one look and he said, come down here. Come down. He said, eventually, when we got to the bottom, he said, bring me the chair, please. I'm like, the chair? Because now in front of these rows of chairs was the stage. It was his.
So now you're going to sit up front the rows.
Yes. And he said, no, bring your chair, put it on the stage. We're like, hey, what for? Because,
Now you have to talk.
because our big bosses are sitting behind us in the first row. Anyway, he said, you must never be afraid of the front row because your experience is never going to be the same. You're never going to get the front row experience if you choose the back row every time.
True.
Oh,
Philosophy for
you're
life.
not always lucky at the back. Sometimes you get unlucky.
If you want to be invisible and you want to get less of an experience, then sit at the back. If you're just there for audio, sit at the back. But then why be in the room, right? Why be in the room in the first place?
That makes sense.
I don't think I answered your question though.
My question was, I want the definition of the
Yes.
concept fatigue
Yes.
and burnout. Yes.
So I like to think that, well, not like to think, I know, fatigue is a symptom. It's how you're feeling. You're tired. I don't have to tell you what fatigue feels like. You've experienced that a few times. Burnout is a more complex set of circumstances. That can be emotional distress. It can be physical distress. It can be all of that stuff at the same time. And that's why I say burnout is a situation. It's a complexity that you probably need. And you would do yourself a favor if you got the right level of support or counseling. Sometimes it's a counselor, or it's a psychologist, or it's a psychiatrist, whatever it is, reach out, go and take what you need from the world, right? It's not a shame. Fatigue, I believe, it's a symptom of. So you're going to feel fatigue, but you're going to be able to get up and bounce back when you have taken a nap.
True.
Or you've just given yourself a bit of a mental break and you go, okay, this project, it's draining me. If you have the luxury to put it down for a little bit, put it down. I always say put something down gently so that you can hold on better.
Take a walk or do something
take a walk.
else.
Or sometimes that letting go or putting an assignment which maybe has a deadline attached it down gently looks like this. If you were my lecturer, I'd say, having a really tough time with this assignment. I think I might need either an extended deadline or some other level of support that you can give to me that I've got access to as a student. So I'm not saying leave it there, park it, and be irresponsible and don't submit.
Well,
I'm asking this question for a student.
Yeah.
How to manage mental health and emotional fatigue while also juggling classes, side hustles, and also social life. Because like you just said, fatigue is when you are tired physically. I don't know what's different between the mental and the physical fatigue.
Yeah.
Is it still the same thing or is...
Well, I think Let me just say that I'm not a psychologist. I'm not
Okay.
the best person to give you the medical definitions. I'm speaking from my experience with people,
Yes.
myself, and with people. Lucy knows I do HR in one context, one part of my world. So I would rather speak from experiences rather than give you a medical definition, because there's plenty who can give you a medical definition. But I'll tell you what it looks like. Like I say, if I see somebody struggling, I'll go up and I'll say, and I'll do it with anybody, whether we work in the same team or whether you're in a different team. If I see you having a hard time, I'm going to go, what's heavy? Something looks heavy. What's heavy? How can I help you pick it up? So sometimes you're tired because you haven't figured out the how.
Right.
Now you've gone and stressed yourself out, and now you don't know how to operate. Your body can't operate. Your brain's not going to operate under stress. You're going to need to bring it under control first. And how you bring it under control, and I'm not talking about an assignment now, I'm just generalizing in terms of a concept. I think I'm going to draw something very quickly. See, I said, it's better like this, yeah. So I want to share this because it's something that I've got to do often. It's a very ugly circle. I'm going to lift it up for you now.
It looks good. It's like the
Does it?
universe. Yeah, it looks
Okay.
like the universe.
The universe. The universe spinning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see the first circle, it's like Jupiter.
Yeah, it's a bit like Jupiter. Okay. So if something's difficult
Yeah.
or something doesn't make sense, or I need to
Control,
conquer something,
influence, and beyond control.
you can take that into a assignment context. You can take it into a life context. So what's in my control
What's in your control?
in the situation? Go and figure that out because the answers are with you. Nobody else can tell you what they are. What do I have the ability not to control the outcome, but I can influence it? Either with my relationship or if I talk to somebody, I can influence the outcome of the situation. I can't control it. There,
Beyond your control.
it's beyond my control. If something's going to happen, at least know what that beyond your control is. And that's how you stay ahead. That's how you beat the burnout and the stress. That's my belief. It's not, guys, can I just put a disclaimer? This is not going to fix everybody's burnout and fatigue. But I'm saying if you want a tool, or if you're sitting on the day-to-day and you're going, something big just happened right now that you feel is stressing you out completely, go back to this little model and go, okay, so this is happening. I can't stop it. It's live. I can't run away from it. I can't hide. But with the situation, whatever's going on now, what can I do? What's within my control right now to shift the situation, to make it a little better or to make it less?
And I feel like you are hitting right the spot right in front of you because if you're looking at him, it's like he's relating to the stuff you're saying.
I'm relating.
Well, this is a cycle, my guy.
I'm relating. Like this cycle, I think I'm going to.
Yeah, this is
I'm
what to do.
adopting this cycle into my life. It's
Yeah.
going to help.
Listen, adopt it for the practical sense, and it's the same for people. So if you want to know why your relationship isn't working, and I'm not talking about the girlfriend, boyfriend, any relationship, workplace, when you get there, it's the same thing. I can't control how Melusi thinks or what he's going to say if I go and have a conversation with him. Let's say I'm the one with the high stakes situation. I need an answer. How I ask that can be a million ways.
True.
I can fight with you, I can argue, I can create a drama, I can just ask you nicely. That's not going to change how you respond.
So you're in control of your response.
You're only in control of what you put into the world. You're not in control of
Well, what you get.
how the other person's going to respond. But if you want to have a better outcome, go and figure out how to use your influence with that person. And that's
to
not
use your
arrogance. It's
influence.
about go and build a relationship. Go and ask the person if the curious thing comes up again. You know, if I'm going to, and I would start like this. I know you want this, or I know that I want this. What's the best way that I can get a yes from you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Usually unarms people, but it's not to unarm, it's to get clarity.
I feel like communication is the only key to making things work. Before we end the episode,
Yeah.
I think we still have 10 to 15 minutes. I just want to ask you about your human resource
Yes.
department
Yes.
experience in that angle. Since you're in HR, I'm curious, since you are also in the student podcast now recording, How can a student equip themselves to be more hireable into a company or an
My
organization?
favorite question. Because I thought about this in the car about how I might be relevant in
Yes.
what I share with you today. And I know a lot of we don't have to think too hard about this, but employment is an issue in our country, right?
True.
It is.
And I spend a lot of time recruiting people to join Cornerstone Institute, as an example. Very lucky to be a growing organization in this world. No, truly we are. Tells you something about the organization, right? So,
Yeah.
yes, so here's what I'd like to put it like this. Your qualification might get you the interview. And that's where it ends.
Your qualifications might get you the interview.
The interview.
Okay.
So you're going to submit your CV, we're going to shortlist it, we're going to see, hey, match, tick, tick, tick. That's not you yet. That's your piece of paper. That's whatever you put on there for us. What's going to get you the job is your soft skills. Okay.
It's you now.
It's you. Okay. Because we've scored you, we've thought, okay, this is great. He's got the right qualification that the advert called for. He's got he can demonstrate. We also have another tool that we use called the Talent Development Questionnaire, and that will tell me a little bit more about you, but only for me to be able to ask you the kind of questions that's going to unlock the soft stuff.
Okay.
Because I don't know for other recruiters, but I'm really not looking for AI answers.
AI answers.
Yeah, you can't prepare for my questions. I do it deliberately because I'm interviewing humans. I'm not interviewing a resource. And HR stands for human resources, I get that. But I'm not interviewing a resource. I am very aware that I'm interviewing an entire human with many, many complexities and facets.
Do you know, it's funny that you're saying that, because currently I'm in third year, we're doing our in-serves.
Yeah.
So a constant feedback that we've been getting, it's students telling us that, when I got there, they ask me easy questions, but I'm like, is it easy questions or is it questions that are revealing the true self that you are?
Yeah.
And people are actually looking into knowing that. They don't want to know how hard you've studied about the company or organization, how hard you've crammed or memorized.
Yeah. And that's important for a certain period of your life. But when you get into the workplace and you understand you're no longer a student, you're no longer receiving, you also give when you're a student. But you're receiving a lot more than you're giving, which is a fine balance for the time. Get to workplace, everybody expects you to unpack that qualification. And you come there, you arrive stressed out, or maybe the opposite, you arrive hell for fire. I'm going to come and unleash my brilliance on this organization now. Don't be that person.
Yeah.
So what you rather want to be doing is have a look at what the top skills for workplaces are that people are looking for. And I'm pretty sure you've done this before. But I can tell you what I look for. I do look for problem-solving capabilities. And I might even ask the question. I might ask you to tell me a story about. Tell me about a time when you had an issue here in the studio.
And how did you solve it?
How did you solve it? It's the how that I'm interested in.
How, not the
and then
what.
I might, yes, not the what. Don't tell me the camera broke and then I replaced the lens, whatever the case is. How did you do that? And then the other thing that I wanted to say is, not the other thing I wanted to say, the other question I want to know, or the other thing I'm trying to find out in an interview is, how curious are you? Are you going to be the person that's going to sit here and wait for somebody to tell you what to do? Or somebody to tell you how to interpret this task? I'm looking for people who have the ability to go and figure it out. I like somebody who comes, my team knows that, you've met my team. I will give you a task. I don't breathe down your neck. I'm not going to come and ask you, hey, are you done? Did you start? That's not me. I'll say, we'll contract each other, task by task, not the employment contract that we signed 9 years ago when you started. So I'll say, this is something that we need. Can you do it in this amount of time? What do you need? The only thing the team member on my team needs to do is to say, I've started, I'm stuck, or I'm done. And then I know how to support you. And on the reverse of that, that's what I would be hiring for everybody else who is a hiring manager.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
So before we wrap it up,
Yeah.
I want to ask, I think I have two questions, but this one first.
Yes.
So since, let's say you hiring people that are doing internships at CPUT,
Yes.
you're getting a flooded number of CVs. All these people, exactly, they don't have qualifications of, let's say you're looking for a marketing position. all these people don't have a qualification of marketing, but they have indicated what's different in their CVs that draws you and says, no man, I like this one. What are the things that are added in the CV that are supposed to be there, and what's not added that's not supposed to be there? What stands out?
I just want to check if I heard you properly. Are you speaking specifically for somebody who doesn't have a qualification?
Yes, a qualification. Let's say you're looking for marketing intern.
Yes.
And
Okay.
yes.
You're there, but you haven't graduated.
Yeah, you haven't
Oh, okay,
graduated. You want to do an
So,
intern.
well, I think to be fair, the answer will be the same for whether you've graduated or not. We're looking for, or I am. Let me just use myself. I'm really always looking for somebody who is, and I don't want to use buzzwords like self-starter. I'm saying somebody who's curious enough to, and there's assessment for that. I mean, if I'm asking you to do something, show me that you've started. Show me that you at least know how to start. Go and watch a video and come and tell me that, because I do it deliberately. I'll give you a task that's going to stretch you a little bit.
Is it? Do you see it from like? I'm talking from the CV stage. Do you look at the CV and look? Okay, this person was working in a student podcast.
Yes.
This person was doing their own business.
Okay.
Yes.
I think I missed your question. Yes. So for me, storytelling is key. Tell stories. Don't give overarching themes. We can tell when you've AI'd that stuff.
Yeah.
Even if you've managed to wax it lyrical because you've got your AI answer, now you've memorized it. It shows. I would rather you, because guys, I don't know how old we are in the room right now, but you've got plenty stories. You didn't become a contributing member of society only when you became a student. You've got other life experiences. People tend to leave that off. Maybe they feel that they don't want to speak on too many personal things, but then don't speak on too many personal things. But take a story from, I don't know, whether it's soccer or it's church or it's high school play, whatever it is, you've got plenty stories to tell in an interview that will bring out, and I might probe for it. But I can tell you now that there are recruiters who don't probe, who maybe are still asking questions that they, and I'm not knocking them, I'm saying it's just normal in a workplace. Even recruiters fall prey to the how we've always done it thing. So if you're not changing, if you're not doing the most to get to meet the human who you are interviewing, your recruitment process is going to come bite you.
One more question. What's the impact or the advantage that someone has when they've worked in an organization that doesn't compensate them really, but they're doing it just to get experience?
What is the?
Like if let's say I was working volunteering my skills
Yes.
or my time into this organization. Let me make an example about the podcast again.
Yeah.
And then now I want to apply for a job somewhere else. And then I'm going to put the podcast under my CV and say, I was working here, I was a host, I was a cinematographer, or
Yes.
I was doing editing.
Yes.
Does that help me?
Helps you plenty, but I'll give you a tip, because remember that the person that's interviewing doesn't necessarily understand your environment, a studio, that microphone versus that camera. Again, tell the story. Tell the story of what made me start this thing. What was the motivator? What drives me? Or what was driving me to move from this idea for podcast to where I am now? Because that's really what we're interested in. Where's the IT guy? Where's the IT guy? Yeah.
IT.
Here's a tip for the IT guy. IT people love to speak IT because it's their environment. They are used to it. But when you're trying to explain to somebody in the workplace why this thing is not working, the IT talk doesn't happen. People will give you blank stares, or they'll go, yeah, they understand, they don't. So what you rather want to say is, in the back end of this system, we have a coding issue. That's what an IT person might say. What you would rather say is, the user was always able to do this. So you're sitting on the keyboard. The user will no longer be able to do this until we fix the code. Make it real. Yeah.
Make
Make it tangible.
Thank you so much
You're
for joining
welcome.
us. I think our time is up right now. But thank you so much for joining us. I'm looking forward to you, maybe if you come back once again. But from us to you guys, I just want to say, don't forget to like and subscribe and comment. If you need to connect with her, I think we would ask Chris if we can put the details here. If you want to connect with her, and also if you are between the ages of 25 to 35, go and apply at Cornerstone, guys. If you are below, there are a lot of institutions, guys. Get your story in check. Get to do something, Jay. But thank you so much for joining us, guys, once again. From the number one student podcast, this is your guy Melusi Mongo, and I wanna say from me to you, Shaika Bailey, adios, amigos.
Yes.
Tell the grandparents and grandmothers to subscribe, guys. Please. When to get to.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's super good.
Shop.
Thank you.